the ball falling down under the crossbar in the back of the end zone. The rookie, Penn State rookie Parker Washington, got the ball on a deflection, falling down in the back of the end zone, a 14-yarder, and now an extra point away from tying the game, the Jacksonville Jaguars. 4th and goal inside the 1. Receiver in motion, snap, he dives over after the snap. The quarterback for the Jaguars holding the ball with one hand, lunging across. He's across, and it's a touchdown for Jacksonville, and they cash in on the interception thrown by the Bengal wide receiver. A 1-yard touchdown run by Lawrence, who also has 2 touchdown passes tonight. And the lead for Jacksonville, 27-21. Looks at 6 in the secondary. The shotgun snap. He throws a line drive. He wants to at least. He brings it back. He's hit on the play. It's loose. The Bengals say it is loose. They're diving for the ball. Lawrence, pump fake to pass, was hit hard on the play. And he's getting up and limping and goes to all fours. Trevor Lawrence is down. He knows something isn't right. He pounds the grass. He takes off his helmet, and this is not good. The Jacksonville quarterback, who has been spectacular this year, knows something's not right, and his coach is walking out on the field. He tried to get up as a pocket was crumbling. He had his lineman step on the back of his foot, and then he came down badly, falling backwards on his knees and bending in an awkward position. And when he tried to get himself off the grass, he quickly collapsed. He pounded the grass on all fours. And now he is being assisted to by 4 athletic trainers of the Jaguars. Not good. Not good at all. And Brandon McManus will try to tie it. A 40-yard field goal try. There's the snap. Ball put down. The right-footed kick is away, and it is good. Tying the game at 31 with 26 seconds to go. Our 5th tie of the game. Evan McPherson will be trying a game-winning 48-yard field goal. No wind, 58 degrees to our right, off of grass. McPherson going for the wind. Good snap, ball put down. The right-footed kick is right down the middle, and Cincinnati has won it in overtime.
Chiefs.
Very much like last night on the report that I gave you, that I thought Green Bay played a good game. Better than what we did. They made fewer mistakes than what we did. So, and that includes myself in the mix here. It starts with some of the calls that I can help our guys with, in particular down the red zone, and then some of our execution down there, whether it's penalties, sacks, whatever it might be.
Good morning, Kansas City. This is the Border Patrol on Sports Radio 810 WHB. It's Tuesday, December 5th, 2023. Stephen St. John, Nate Bukaty, and Jake Gutierrez. Thank you so much for joining us. Today on the show, we'll talk to former Chiefs offensive lineman Joe Valerio a little bit early today, 7:15 or 7:20. Mark Bowrick will be in studio around 7:40-ish or so for about an hour. And they moved up a little bit to make room for Christian Okoye, who texted me yesterday and asked if he could come on the show to talk about a few events he's going to be involved with this week. So always make accommodations for the Nigerian Nightmare. He'll be with us around 8:40, 8:45 or so. And then Jeff Chadilla from NFL Network and NFL.com will be in studio with us. Normally we have Lance Leipold on the show at 6:30 every Tuesday, but he is busy recruiting and dealing with the transfer portal and preparing for a bowl game. And so he will be off for a couple of weeks and be back on with us, I believe, the week before the Guaranteed Rate Bowl that takes place against UNLV, led by head coach Barry Odom. So there's your rundown for this Tuesday. Got plenty to talk about. You heard the highlights there of a very surprising result on Monday Night Football. The Cincinnati Bengals, without Joe Burrow, led by unheralded backup quarterback Jake Browning, defeated the Jacksonville Jaguars, who ended up playing without Trevor Lawrence, who hurt his ankle in the game. And so it was a battle of backups, and it ended up being a really entertaining game with a surprising result, because Cincinnati does the Chiefs a huge favor, and they take care of Jacksonville 34-31. Trevor Lawrence went out, and C.J. Beathard actually played well, 9 of 10 for 63 yards, and led the team to a game-tying field goal at the end of regulation. But Cincinnati gets it done in overtime, led by Jake Browning, who was terrific, 32 of 37 for 354 yards, and also threw a touchdown pass. He also had 2 carries for 22 yards and a touchdown run, and he was terrific. And now I still think that they have an uphill climb to make the playoffs, but they certainly are a factor. They affected the playoff race last night, and Cincinnati stays in the conversation for a playoff berth with that game last night. And so last night, that was an incredible performance again from former Washington Husky quarterback Jake Browning, who becomes the first undrafted player in the Common Era to throw for more than 350 yards and complete at least 85% of his passes in a game. He's the first quarterback in NFL history to complete 85% of his passes for 350-plus yards while also rushing for 20 yards and a touchdown. And he's the 10th player in the Super Bowl era since 1966 to throw for at least 350 yards with a completion percentage of at least 85%. The 10 quarterbacks that have had games of at least 350 yards and 85% completion percentage in a regular season game: Justin Herbert, Lamar Jackson, Drew Brees, Tom Brady, Peyton Manning, Tom Brady again, Peyton Manning again, Rich Gannon, Chris Chandler, Vinny Testaverde, Johnny Unitas. And so then go ahead and add Jake Browning to that list, where he fits right in. Unfreaking believable. And so, we don't usually, we're not in the habit of rooting for the Cincinnati Bengals around these parts, but who day? Go eat some Skyline chili today and celebrate a big victory by the Bengals. And I know that Trevor Lawrence got hurt, and that sucks. He has, per initial tests, initial reports, he has a sprained ankle. That could have been a lot worse. But they were still in a dogfight even before he got hurt. They were still playing with their food and couldn't pull away from the Bengals anyway. So that was going to be a tough game. Maybe they win if Lawrence, I don't know. I mean, Beathard didn't fall apart. He was okay. But that's still a somewhat shocking result that the Bengals were able to go in there with Jacksonville playing for a number 1 seed in the AFC. And so now what that does is it brings Jacksonville even with the Chiefs. And, of course, the Chiefs have a win at Jacksonville. They have the tiebreaker. So that takes care of one bit of business. So the Chiefs got a little bit of a victory last night without playing. So now the 2 teams that are left ahead of the Chiefs in the AFC, the Baltimore Ravens at 9-3 and the Dolphins at 9-3. The Chiefs have the head-to-head victory over the Dolphins. They do not have the head-to-head victory over the Ravens. They did not play the Ravens. But when you look at conference records, which could come into play, the Chiefs only have 1 conference loss. Their other losses have come at the hands of NFC teams. The Philadelphia Eagles, the Detroit Lions, and the Green Bay Packers. And so that actually works well for the Chiefs when it comes down to tiebreakers. So they've got the head-to-head against Jacksonville and Miami. They've got a better conference record than the Baltimore Ravens. So I know it's all doom and gloom around here, but hopes for a number 1 seed are still alive and kicking for the Kansas City Chiefs. They just had to start taking care of business. And so when you look at the teams now that are still ahead of them, the Baltimore Ravens have games coming up hosting the Rams. They should not have any problems with the Rams, but then again, what the hell do I know? I didn't think the Jags would have any problems with Browning and the Bengals last night. Then they play, this will be an interesting game. Doesn't give me a whole lot of hope that Jacksonville can pull it off, but they will play on Sunday night, the following Sunday night, December 17th, at Jacksonville. Hey, look, anything can happen. I don't know. I'm not going to write off Jacksonville just because they lost last night. But at Jacksonville, coming up December 17th. Then, the following Monday night, at the San Francisco 49ers. Yes, please. Then they have to host the Dolphins, which, that'll be an elimination game maybe for the number 1 seed. And then they finish by hosting the Steelers. They should beat the Steelers. So I would expect them to beat the Rams. I would expect them to beat the Steelers. The 3 games sandwiched in the middle will tell the story. At Jacksonville on a Sunday night, at San Francisco on a Monday night, and then hosting the Dolphins. They could win them all. They could lose a couple of them. They might lose one. I don't know. That's all on the table right there. And so that will decide whether or not the Chiefs can catch up with the Ravens. As far as the Miami Dolphins, again, the Chiefs have the head-to-head win against the Dolphins. The Dolphins will host the Titans. That shouldn't be a problem. They'll host the Jets. The Jets are a sad comedy. They're a joke. So they're done. They host the Cowboys. I don't know. Anything could happen there. They play the game at the Ravens, and then they host the Bills. So for the Dolphins, I think they shouldn't have any problems winning the next 2 games against the Titans and the Jets, but then the final 3 games of the regular season will tell their story whether or not the Chiefs can catch up on them. Home game against the Cowboys, at the Ravens, which will be a gigantic game. Someone's got to lose it. That's what it is. And then hosting the Bills. And maybe, just maybe, they're hosting a desperate Bills that must win to get into the playoffs. And that very well could be the case. So that could play into the favor of the Kansas City Chiefs. So both of those teams ahead of the Chiefs have a tougher schedule left than the Kansas City Chiefs. But the Chiefs don't have a margin for error. They lost that now by losing this game against the Green Bay Packers. Now the Chiefs, it almost feels like they got to win out. If they really want to make a run at the 1 seed. Is it possible? Sure it is. Does it feel possible after watching them lose to Green Bay? No. But here's their schedule. What game do you feel like is the toughest game left? I'll tell you right now, it's the next game against the Buffalo Bills. Hosting a desperate Buffalo Bills team coming off a bye week. Extremely difficult game this Sunday at Arrowhead Stadium, 3:25 kickoff on CBS. I'll be there to cover it. Let's go. Then after that, at the Patriots, if they lose that game, then we just tip our cap and say goodbye to the 1 seed. That's over. But the Patriots can't score. They can't score against anyone. The last 3 games, if you score 11 points against the Patriots, you are a winner. That's the most remarkable run right now that I can remember of a team playing lockdown defense and not winning. The last 3 games for the New England Patriots, they have lost 10-6, 10-7, and 6-0.
Remarkable.
That's not a joke. They have lost 3 NFL games in a row, 10-6, 10-7, and 6-0.
Remarkable.
The composite score of the last 3 games is 26-13. That's like a normal game, and that's the last 12 quarters for the Patriots. So, pardon me. I believe that the Chiefs can put up, I think they can put up 13 points against the Patriots and win the game. And so I feel great about that. Then the Chiefs host the Raiders. Got to take care of business It's at Arrowhead. Beat the Raiders.
Christmas Day.
Then they host the Cincinnati Bengals. So we saw the Bengals last night. The Bengals have not given up on the season. The Bengals are still engaged. The Bengals still have terrific weapons around this young quarterback, Browning, that was sensational last night. They still have Mixon. They still have Jamar Chase. They still have T. Higgins. And so maybe they won't be as easy of an out as we thought. But, again, without Joe Burrow, you've got to take care of business against Cincinnati. And that's at Arrowhead as well on New Year's Eve at 3:25. And I should be... I'll be listening / watching that game as we're coming back from the Cotton Bowl, because that's when we check out of our hotel. The hotel's been booked. The hotel has been booked, and I've already had my initial conversation with Tickets for Less, who has tickets to all 3 local schools' bowl games. Yesterday, we found out that Missouri already sold out their ticket allotment for the Cotton Bowl, which is not a surprise. And so now, if you're looking for tickets to the Cotton Bowl, go to Tickets for Less. That's where I'm getting my tickets for the Cotton Bowl. And so we have booked our hotel. We have already picked out 3 restaurants where we're going to be enjoying ourselves. We are going to the 6th floor museum at Dealey Plaza and the JFK assassination site to take a tour there and tour the 6th floor. And want my kids to see that and the museum and everything else. I took the boys there when they were younger, but they probably don't remember it. And Susan and the girls have never been there. And so it is very well done. And so we're going to do that. We found out close to where we're staying is the National Video Game Museum or something like that. It's like, I don't know, the history of video games. And you can go in and you could play different video games from the past. Look that up. It's Frisco, Texas. Look that up, Jake. That looks like something you might like too. And so the kids are fired up for that. And so I spent several hours yesterday planning our trip outside of the Cotton Bowl, and so super excited for that. And so we'll be driving back on
much more than a museum.
Read that.
The National Video Game Museum is dedicated to preserving and showcasing the history and culture of video games, featuring interactive exhibits and educational programs.
Phil St. John's like, really?
Yes.
I got to see this.
Step into the history of gaming.
Right. That's exactly right.
This place looks awesome.
I step into the history of gaming every time I go into my son's room. Trust me. So that'll be a stop.
With that.
What's that?
Yeah, I can identify with that, stepping into video game history.
So trying to find things that are educational but also fun and exciting. And so many steps of the trip have been taken care of now. So it's happening. So it's going to be a big holiday celebration.
Well,
and then the Chiefs finish at the Chargers.
Last time I took a family trip to Dallas, it was actually just me and my son, but we went down there for a soccer tournament, and we watched the Chiefs play the Bengals on the drive home, and that was...
Who drove?
Well, Ben most of the way, so I could sit in the back and watch it on an iPad. Unfortunately, that was the Chiefs-Bengals AFC Championship game with the Applebee's halftime and all that stuff. I hope this one goes much better for you.
It should. I would expect it to. And Susan St. John will be driving. Or, you know what, or Phil St. John. Although I'm gonna go with Susan on that one. So point is, home against the Bills, at the Patriots, home against the Raiders, home against the Bengals, at the Chargers. If the Chiefs are good enough to be the 1 seed, then they should be able to win out. Period. I'm not going to lower my expectations because of what happened on Sunday night. But the toughest out is going to be Sunday against Buffalo, period. Buffalo is the most talented team left that they play. I know the Bengals have talent, but you can't compare going up against And I know Browning looked good last night, but still Josh Allen he's an elite quarterback. And so, this game is, I cannot tell you, number one, how exciting I think this game's going to be and how excited I am to cover it, but just I think it's going to be a fantastic football game. Because there is a sense of desperation on both sides. More so, clearly, for the Bills, because they're playing just to get into the playoffs. The Chiefs are going to be in the playoffs. The Chiefs are going to win their division. That's happening. Again, no matter how much you want to drag your feet and say, oh, shucks, and complain. I don't know. I saw some stupid stuff on social media. I'm not even going to give it oxygen, whatever. But the point is, the Chiefs are going to the playoffs. At the very worst, they're going to be the division champs. They're going to host a wild card game, and then at the very worst case, we will have to see them go, if they win that wild card game, go on the road for the first time ever in the playoffs, except for the Super Bowl. First time on the road in the playoffs for Patrick Mahomes. Best case scenario, they take care of business, they win out, and they end up as the 1 seed. That's still absolutely on the table. Did they make it more difficult for themselves by losing to the Packers? Sure they did. Absolutely. Clearly. Do they have some things to clean up? Yep. Yes. I would suggest taking many a snap away from Sky Moore and offering it to Richie James. I would suggest taking snaps away from MVS, and even though I know this guy isn't perfect, I'd rather see Justin Watson running down there. Because every once in a while, he'll make a big catch. He'll drop some, but there's been more success throwing to Justin Watson than there has MVS. And I would suggest force-feeding the football to Isaiah Pacheco, Travis Kelce, and Rashee Rice, which I've been suggesting now for several weeks. That's not rocket science. Even though Mina Kimes tweeted it out, and then all of a sudden people felt like that was like this unbelievable discovery, during the game. The Chiefs should really get the ball to Pacheco and Kelce and Rashee Rice. Like, really?
She knows what she's talking
Yeah,
about.
boy. She used analytics to figure that out. Great. It's just frustrating because people that watch the team and that follow the team or cover the team, we know this. We understand this. But again, sometimes the Chiefs get away from this, which is baffling to me. And you could say I'm giving up on Sky Moore, whatever. I'm done having the conversation. And yes, we've figured out a way to blame Mahomes, and that's great. But Sky Moore is not doing enough to justify the snaps or the targets. He doesn't do anything with the snaps. He's getting great cardio running around out there every Sunday. All right? He's staying in tip-top shape, but the production isn't there. It's not there. So, you have a competent NFL wide receiver who was productive last year for the Giants and Richie James. In a fraction of the snaps, he had the same production that Sky Moore did on Sunday. Give him a look. That's not grasping at straws. He's shown that he can be a productive wide receiver as recent as last year. Give him some snaps. I'm none of this is personal. None of this is personal against the guys, but we're it's December 5th now. And as I've illustrated, the time to be patient is kind of over. It's over for, well, you know what? I think this next week is when Sky Moore is going to bust out. And that's, no. And MVS, he is what he is. This is it. There's no big jump that's coming with MVS. You know, maybe this is just me. Well, I haven't seen Richie James fail in a Chiefs uniform yet, so let me watch. Well, no, he's had a more successful season in the NFL more recently than Sky Moore has. He's been productive. That's why the Chiefs brought him here. There's some high hopes for him. I've seen Justin Watson make more bigger plays than Sky Moore or MVS. So if you're going to look for some supplemental targets and some guys to be complementary targets around Pacheco, Kelsey, and Rashee Rice, I'll vote for Richie James and Justin Watson right now over Sky Moore and MVS. I've grown tired of what looks like to be an opportunity to make a big play, and Mahomes delivers a throw, and MVS looks left and looks right and turns around and, oh, hey, what? I didn't think the ball was going to be there. What's going on here? What happened? And looking back at Mahomes, and Mahomes like, what am I going to... His hands on his helmet or what, you know? And I hate debating, it seems like almost every Monday. Well, whose fault was that, Mahomes or Sky Moore's? Something happened.
What happened?
There's some common denominators here. And yes, Mahomes is one of them, but I'm going to lean on Mahomes before I lean on Sky Moore and MVS. Thank you. You have options, use them. But again, Pacheco, Kelsey, Rice, and then there's everyone else. Back after this on Sports Radio 810 WHB.
The winner of the 2023 Burlsworth Trophy from the University of Missouri, Cody Schrader.
So last night I watched or at least a portion of because it was one of the longest award ceremonies I've ever seen, but I enjoyed it. It was the Burlsworth Award, the Burlsworth Trophy, which is given to the top player in the nation that started his career as a walk-on. And so there was a kid from James Madison, Drake Stoops from Oklahoma, and then Cody Schrader nominated. Past winners have included Baker Mayfield and Hunter Renfrow. One of the finalists last year was Aiden O'Connell, the current quarterback for the Raiders. And so it was really it was actually a really interesting ceremony. And it's the trophy's named after Brandon Burlsworth, a former Arkansas offensive lineman who was a walk-on and then not only earned a scholarship, became team captain, all SEC, All-American, became the first All-American from Arkansas in a decade, and then was taken number 63 overall in the 99 draft by the Colts. And then after minicamp, he did so well he was projected by his coaches to start as a rookie. But then just 11 days after the draft, he was tragically killed in a car wreck heading back to Arkansas. And his family established this foundation, and from that foundation has come this award. And there's also a movie about his life that was made in 2016 called Greater, the incredible true story of the greatest walk-on in the history of college football. And you can watch it on Netflix. And so I kind of went down that rabbit hole because I wanted to know more about the award, because Cody Schrader was the favorite to win it. Really, I want to watch the movie. But and they had the award ceremony in Arkansas last night. And the trophy was created to honor the achievements and successes of the walk-on athlete. And so every year they present it since 2010, the most outstanding player who began his career as a walk-on. And so, I mean, really tremendous story, right? And they did a great job they interviewed each player, the 3 finalists last night, showed a highlight package of their career, talked to them about their career and what led them to being there last night. And they did a sit-down interview with Cody Schrader, and it was really, really good. So then he wins the award. And then you have to understand, this is in Arkansas, right? And this is, there's a Burlsworth scholarship at Arkansas. This is, very Arkansas heavy. And we know just what just happened between Mizzou and Arkansas, right? Mm-hmm. And so Cody Schrader gets the award. Drinkwitz was there. It was awesome, right? Gets up there with the trophy and goes to the podium. And this is what he lit off with a speech.
Thank you for safely allowing me back in the state of Arkansas. So, thank you.
As everyone was laughing after, he did just put up over 200 yards on Arkansas a couple of weeks ago. So, but then he had some words of encouragement for others that might follow in his footsteps during his speech.
Finally, my journey from high school to Truman State Division II to the University of Missouri, it wasn't easy. It definitely had a lot of lonely nights, a lot of just the unknown of what was going to happen with my career. But the only thing that I stayed true to was the work. I think the only thing that kind of follows work is results. And I truly believe that anything you want in this life that you can achieve, it just really takes the dedication, the discipline, and you got to love this game.
So it was. I think I watched it on YouTube streaming live. So I think you can go back if you're a Mizzou fan, or if you just like college football and you'll watch some of the stories and go back and watch it. It was really well done, and I enjoyed I couldn't watch all of it because it was very lengthy, but I watched the Cody Schrader portion and his interview and watched him receive the awards. That was awesome.
His story is incredible, man. Keeps going. Maybe he'll go win the Cotton Bowl against Ohio State.
And then someone asked the guy that was interviewing, so I'm sure that you want to continue to play football, and he didn't even really talk about that. He goes, I've thought about it, and I would like to get into coaching, maybe get into high school coaching, also, maybe business, real estate. He goes, first thing I want to do is I want to make some money. And everyone laughed, like, yes, that's right. That's right, Cody Schrader.
Yep.
Let's go. Mm-hmm. And so congratulations to Cody Schrader on the Burlsworth Trophy. And also congratulations to Eli Drinkwitz, who officially won, according to the Associated Press, SEC Coach of the Year. And there was at least some thought that maybe Nick Saban was going to win it. How he somehow was able to take those group of 5-star players and get them turned around in time to win the SEC,
Yeah.
Took that group of ragtag recruits and somehow formed a team.
There's some drops that we haven't heard in a while that are making me smile.
Look, Nick Saban is arguably the greatest college coach of all time.
Yeah.
So, but Drinkwitz, give it to Drinkwitz. Thank you. Drink deserved it. He got it. I'm not the Associated Press. Don't look at me funny.
He was close to the hot seat in week 2, wasn't he?
Well, not anymore.
I mean, it seems hilarious to think now.
You're getting all choked up about it.
It's very emotional for me.
Is it?
No.
It is for me.
Yeah, I know that.
Do you don't think he should have got it, or you?
Oh, I'm sure, man.
Well, he got it.
Congratulations to him.
Right. And
Heck of a year.
Mizzou placed 5 players on the first team. Luther Burden III is on the first team. Tackle Javon Foster. Running back Cody Schrader. I still can't believe that, dude. Defensive end Darius Robinson and corner Chris Abrams-Drain. I'm just going to be honest with you. If the Chiefs can't sign L'Jarius Sneed, be a good replacement. So I won't steer you. I didn't steer you wrong on Nick Bolton. I'll tell you who the Chiefs can use.
Yeah.
I could tell you the campaign that you will be taking part in a year from now of Luther Burden III to the Chiefs will be unlike anything you've ever seen me conduct on this show.
Oh, boy. Oh, boy.
Oh, yeah.
That's saying something.
Oh, let me tell you. You thought Nick Bolton to KC, I poured it on heavy. I'll pull out all the stops to try to get LB3 to Kansas City. Doesn't feel like he'll be there whenever they draft, but
maybe they trade up.
Maybe and guess what? You're no Mizzou fan, but based on what we've seen this year, I don't think you'd be too upset if Luther Burden was running around in a Chiefs uniform.
He'd be wide receiver 1 now.
I think we'd all be very satisfied with that. All right?
Yes.
But it's coming. It's going to be like a Heisman campaign, trust me.
Yes, sir.
I'm going to send out flyers. I'm going to send mail to Brett
Listen,
Veach.
man, I'm excited that I actually think that next year there's actually candidates for the Chiefs to draft from the University of Kansas, which hasn't been the case for quite a while.
I'm not going to be like you and turn my nose up at talent. I don't care where they play.
I don't understand how I've been like that. I've been quite supportive of Nick Bolton Jr.
Not early on. But then you embrace him. Now you love him. You can't wait for him to get back.
I would like for him to get back soon.
Oh, trust me, me too. I'm going to go as Andy Reid's probably on that. Andy Reid was not really looking to praise Jack Cochran as much as we were yesterday. He was like,
well, he made some good plays. He made some bad plays.
Right.
I mean, that's what you expect from.
But look, when you get to that
guy
point,
with no experience,
right? That's exactly right. But my wish is to see Drew Tranquil and Nick Bolton back together.
Well, that would be...
Especially in this game. Like, I don't know if either one of them is going to be out there. I'll settle for one of them, but if you give me two of them, let's go.
Right.
They need it. Come on. Is there a specific Kansas player that you would like targeted?
Well...
I mean, if you're going to do something, speak it into existence.
Devin Neal, the Lawrence, Kansas kid that I think they could use another running back, down the road.
I've watched him.
But
I'll have it.
I would say this year's class, they've got a safety that I think would be, Kenny Logan, I think is a guy that they might want to be interested in the mid rounds. And then next year, Kobe Bryant and Melo Dotson, if those guys put on a little bit of weight, they to me have Spags written all over them.
Kobe Bryant.
They are ball hawking corners that have good ball skills.
Right.
They're long. They kind of have. They got to put on some weight. Kobe's got to put on some weight. He's kind of like Echo Boydo in that he's
have him spend the week with me. I'll help him.
Yeah, I don't have any issues with that at this point in my life either.
I'll give him some tips.
But yeah, those guys I think are all candidates.
If you didn't get drafted, I will demand the Chiefs to invite Cody Schrader to
Why not?
rookie minicamp. So, there it is.
Maybe Dominic Pooney, the kid that was from Central Missouri that is a senior now. He's played guard. He's played tackle.
Nick Bolton, come back.
Yeah, what's going on, man? When is he going to come back?
Maybe now. Maybe Sunday.
We need him.
Right? I'm going to go ahead and tell you, the timetable has been accelerated.
What do we got to do here, Nick?
If they were going to take things, the cautious approach, maybe that has been thrown out the window. We will take a break back after this on WHB.
This is Chris Jones. You are listening to the Border Patrol on Sports Radio 810 WHB. Go Chiefs!
Can you repeat all that on the air now?
Yeah, let's go.
Maybe this is a dumb question. I don't know.
Yeah, it's dumb.
I was watching that game last night, and I'm seeing like Trevor Lawrence get hurt, and it looked bad to me. Thankfully for Jacksonville, I don't want to see anyone get hurt like that, especially a guy that I enjoy watching play in Trevor Lawrence. But it looked really bad. The results so far is they say it's a sprained ankle. He's going to undergo additional testing to determine the extent of the right ankle injury he suffered late in the fourth quarter. But initial tests showed he sprained the ankle, and then they'll figure out how much time he could miss. Could they have helped him get off the field a little bit more, or in the tunnel? I see this video of him, like with two guys around, and he's barely walking like along. I know that Jacksonville Stadium is a dump,
Big time.
and the surrounding area is awful, and they don't have certain amenities.
Or
on a hot
any.
day, like ice
Or
or
any.
working fans or the basic necessities of life.
They got a pool.
But do they? Yeah, they have a
Dirty
dirty, stinky pool. Someone asked, "Are you going to get in that pool?" I said, "What do you know about me that would lead you to believe that I would get in that thing?" I basically have to wash my hands after every segment here. My OCD. Can you imagine? Would you like to get in that pool? That stink pool? Is that what you want?
I don't know,
I'll put you in there if that's what you want. I've got connections down there.
at a sporting event, especially a football game, I've never thought to myself, man, you know what, I'd like to sit in a pool right now.
I was in the Watson hot tub one time out at the K.
Well, I know you were. I think I was right there watching you.
Oh, boy.
We were trying to get up in the truck.
Yeah. No, the truck used to spin around.
Spinning ram.
I petitioned the Royals to sit up. I was trying to get them to let me sit up there in the spinning truck to watch a whole game. They said, hey, there's actually no seats up there. Like, what? The truck's hollowed out.
I don't need a seat.
Put me in the back. You know? So you would not get in the pool? Or I didn't.
No, I mean, not unless there was some sort of incentive, you know, like if somebody wants to pay me, I'll get in that pool. But
How much, though? Because that did not, I mean, there was some questionable
I would assume there's a lot of
content.
bleach dumped in there, but I don't know.
Better be. I don't know what.
It's like when you see those party.
Well,
like when you see those party pools at the Lake of the Ozarks. I don't really ever want to get in one of those.
I just, the Jacksonville one just didn't seem.
Floating Band-Aids in the water.
But I think your point.
Stop.
Oh, is there anything more disturbing? Oh, man.
What's wrong with you? Anyway, like, look at the video. Like,
the old Band-Aid at the bottom of the pool.
Like, him, like, even by, like, can someone just get him a cart?
Well, how about the fact that a police officer's got to, like, help him off, too? They don't have a training staff? Like, what is going on
What
here?
was happening?
Yeah.
Can someone get him a golf cart?
There's not a gator or something in the building?
Not that he's your most expensive and important player, but, I mean, I don't know. Trevor, just walk it out. Just go. Okay, go.
And, like, the video lasts a long time.
Yeah, he was walking for a long...
Like, how far does this guy got to go?
The music, what I needed was the Incredible Hulk music at the end when he's hitchhiking. When he's that lonely walk down a country road. That's what I felt like for Trevor. This is Trevor Lawrence walking to get x-rayed. Where'd Trevor go? Oh, he's getting x-rays. He left half an hour ago. Well, he's still walking.
There's a lot to unpack here, too. There looks like a guy that's actually a part of the training staff that's trying to hold him up from one side. He looks like he's about to fall over.
Right.
Because he's not big enough. And then there's a police officer helping him on the other side.
Hey, bro, could you get that gator, please, for me?
Somebody. The Jags. Yeah, that doesn't make any sense. Well, I hope he's all right.
Well, sure.
One thing we know, Patrick Mahomes will be playing the next week.
Jaguars.
We don't know how serious his is.
Right.
Not all ankle injuries are the same.
Be where they all were. So, talking about ankles, I mean, there's at least some more optimism than I expected about the Brian Cook injury. Have we all seen the still shot?
Yeah.
Did you see that? Did you see the still shot?
Yeah.
Ooh, yeah, you made sure we saw it.
Well, I texted it to you.
Yeah, thanks. Wow.
We'll play a clip. We'll play some clips from Andy Reid, but Andy Reid talked about that. I mean, I don't know. That looked awful. Maybe he's not out for the year.
It's amazing it didn't break.
We'll see.
Amazing.
He had his regular shoes on leaving the facility. That's wild.
We'll take a break back after this on WHB.